Greetings from the Philippines to the world. We are on Facebook Live on Eagle News and also on our streaming site, eaglenews.ph. Watch us on our YouTube channel at Eagle News. I am Cesar Vallejos. Welcome to Open for Business. Join me to discover the latest news and information in business around the world. Stay ahead of the curve from vision to action. Eagle Broadcasting Corporation successfully conducted the EBC Forum on blockchain and cryptocurrency, and we are featuring the highlights of the forum in two parts. Enjoy watching this. Open for Business is back, and we have a very exciting topic this afternoon. It's careers in blockchain, equipping the workforce of the future. And with me is the Director of Emfarsis Consulting Services, Ms. Leah Callon-Butler. Thank you very much for coming to the show.
Thanks
Leah.
for having me.
What do we expect in terms of the workforce in the future? How do you see? I know that you will be talking later this afternoon. So how do you describe the workforce of the future?
Well, you're right. I think you hit the nail on the head. There is a lot of fear out there. People are really worried that they might lose their job to technology. Mm-hmm. But I think with loss of jobs, there is also creation of jobs. As we've seen in previous revolutions, we're actually currently entering the fourth industrial revolution, where STEM skills are going to be very, very important in future jobs. And STEM is an acronym. It stands for Science, Technology, Engineering and Maths. And in the future, about 75% of all jobs will be underpinned by STEM skills. So it's really, really critical that we start to look today at, say, students in school. Are we building STEM capability in our students to equip them for the jobs of the future? And I'm not sure if you would have seen it, but there was actually a recent OECD report which surveyed students across, they're all 15-year-old students across 79 countries. And what they do is an exam and they test things like reading and comprehension and maths and science skills. And what it found was the Philippines actually performed quite poorly. So out of the 79 countries, they were actually lowest in reading and comprehension and second lowest in maths and science. So that's obviously a problem, but I see it as an opportunity as well. If we start to invest now, because we know that these skills are going to be so important in the future, we can actually change the trajectory for the Philippines, make sure our young people are equipped for the jobs that are going to be in demand, both locally and globally.
We also learned some of the skill sets that are really focused on now are in the areas of cognitive thinking, cognitive learning, and creative thinking. Is this, some sort of another dimension where STEM skills should be combined with the soft skills?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Those 21st century skills, as they're often called, we need to combine those with STEM skills because, look, honestly, a degree in engineering is not going to necessarily give you social skills, the ability to communicate, persuade people, present your ideas and opinion, which is absolutely critical in the business world. And, often we don't learn these things directly at university or school. So just to come back to that, it's things like being creative, communicating, as I mentioned, building relationships, all of these other skills that combine with the STEM skills to make real leaders. And I think what a lot of people are experimenting with is the idea that perhaps entrepreneurship pathways can help young people build these skills. So there's some really incredible initiatives happening here in the Philippines. I saw the Department of Science and Technology has an amazing incubation program, which is providing both funding but also access to networks, to mentorship for young entrepreneurs who are launching incredible products. And I think what is really cool about those young people starting their own businesses is that they look to solve their own problems. So they look at the world around them and they think, wow, I've seen that perhaps people in my family don't have access to the financial system because they don't have a bank account.
Yeah.
Or, maybe my grandma doesn't have the right ID documents, so it's very difficult for her to interact with, say, the government online. Mm-hmm. And they look to find solutions to problems that are in their own world. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what's really exciting, because they're the kind of solutions that the world really needs.
I don't want to dig more because we will be listening to the talk later of the Director of Emfarsis Consulting Services, Ms. Leah Callon-Butler.
In doing this, I'd really like to ask you, when you go away from this, think about what you want the future of the Philippines to look like. Because the initiatives that we bring to industry today and to education today will ultimately decide what the future looks like in 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 years' time. Now, diversity is really, really key for this. And to me, this is why I chose to stay in the Philippines, because I'm more excited about the kind of innovation that could happen here in a developing economy. Diversity is important because we need underrepresented and underserved communities to come to the table and develop solutions to their own problems. Now, what we're seeing, particularly in the Philippines, is someone who comes from the provinces. They might see that people in their family, they don't have a bank account. So they can't participate in the digital economy online, or perhaps they don't have the right ID documents. Now, the people who are coming up with amazing solutions to these problems, they're actually developing products that are more robust and more meaningful to more people across the world. That's why we're here talking about blockchain today. It's a technology that doesn't necessarily have to be controlled or ruled by the usual intermediaries, banks and governments. That's exciting because it can be a more inclusive technology that can include people in the system who have previously been excluded by the incumbent systems. That's really exciting because someone who really knows what it feels like to be excluded from the incumbent financial system, they can learn blockchain technology and deliver solutions that will actually allow more people to be included in the mainstream system. It's not just developing economies, it's also any kind of marginalised community. So, for example, women. Traditionally, tech, the entire sector, has been underrepresented when it comes to women. Again, the reason that's important is because women have a unique perspective. And what we want to do is make sure that we have men and women, rich and poor, young and old, all types of people at the table to be able to bring a kaleidoscope of perspectives so we can actually build far better products that will be meaningful to more people. Now, I just want to introduce one very quick thing, the idea of youth entrepreneurship. So I mentioned before that we need to get creative about what we're thinking as how we're going to build STEM skills, how we're going to build the workforce of the future, and what we can do in the education system. But it's not just, let's be honest, does anybody sit there and think, I remember when I did that exam at school and it was just riveting, it was just the greatest experience I ever had? Said no one ever. It's more about these days, we actually want kids to be able to get out there and have real experiences. Now, youth entrepreneurship is critical because it starts to develop those skills that go on top of STEM skills to create leaders. STEM skills create employable people in the future to meet the demands of the jobs of the future. 21st century skills, or they're sometimes called enterprise skills, sometimes soft skills, that's what maketh a leader. When I say 21st century skills, I mean things like adaptability. The space of technology is moving so quickly, you need to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. You need to be able to change and adapt super quickly. You need to be resilient. You need to be able to learn fast.
Thank you for watching Open for Business. Join us again in the next episodes of Open for Business for more insights from CEOs, thought leaders, and industry experts promoting business development in the Philippines. See you again every Saturday and Sunday here in Open for Business, where we discuss business information, deliver the latest business news to keep you informed and open for business, and be ahead of the curve from vision to action. For Open for Business, this is Cesar Vallejos. Have a great day.